So, guys, we've got silly Frank Warren trying to pass the buck, talking about Eddie Hearn signed a clause. Stand by.
Right, it's going to be long-winded, this. So,
Go for it.
The fight, back in January, we agreed terms between all the parties that to how we would negotiate and move forward for the fight. That's ourselves, Top Rank, Matchroom, both Tyson and Anthony Joshua and their respective management companies. In that agreement, there is a clause referring to the arbitration, and it's still outstanding. The view of and I think you've seen Bob Arum's quotes on it. The view from his lawyers was that they felt that it was at an end, and that also that there'd be no problem moving forward. Having said that, the arbitrator having given his decision, and it doesn't matter what Eddie Hearn wants to say at the moment. The facts are he was very much aware of that agreement because he signed it, and so did AJ, as well as everybody else. Negotiations were going on for the fight for quite a while, as we all know. Seemed like it became every day. Hearn was announcing that the fight's on. Tomorrow we'll do the contracts, we'll be getting this and that, and all that was just went on and on. It became boring, and it certainly did not happen because nothing was ever signed. And that was also in breach of an agreement that any announcements would be, and we'd all announce them jointly. That was in this agreement we made. So that's where we got to. Tyson was getting quite frustrated, having been out the ring since last February 2020. And it got to a stage where we all got quite fed up being,
It was a breach of agreement that Eddie saying anything about the fight. So was it a breach of agreement when Tyson Fury comes out on his Instagram just Sunday gone, talking about meet me in Saudi, the fight's on? Like, you guys saw that everywhere. I even posted the Jamaican version. Big up the Refix show for that. Yeah? Make it make sense. What it is that Frank Warren and Team Tyson, they've been caught out. They're liars. It doesn't matter if in the arbitration, in the contract, there was stating that there was a clause that the arbitration. You guys were more than vocal stating the arbitration would cause no interruption for Fury, AJ, Fury. Bob Arum has been on all of the platforms stating this. Tyson Fury was getting frustrated. Bob Arum was very vocal saying, yes, there's an arbitration, and what's going to happen is it doesn't infringe on the undisputed fight, because the worst thing that what's going to happen is going to be a monetary or a compensation order that will be, to deal with the breach of contract. No more, no less. He said that on I witnessed it. I hope someone does, because I can't be bothered, the timeline of Bob's lies and gets all the footage and clips it together of Bob and even Frank Warren. They basically went cold because they wanted to leave it to Eddie Hearn. Nobody made any moves. They wanted it to crash so they could blame Eddie Hearn on it. We all know it. We see through it. Frank Warren, you could have said, like Eddie said, pending on arbitration, we will wait for the deal to Warren was talking about, they haven't sent the contracts. So if you knew that there was a possibility within the arbitration that this fight couldn't happen next, why was you there on TV vocal saying that, blaming Team AJ, that this contracts haven't, we don't know anything? What? It's a load of rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. It's a load of lies. You know it. Bob's got a big enough mouth to say it, because I think maybe Frank Warren was listening to Bob, and Bob, being the arbitrator, mate, or a former lawyer, was telling the team, don't worry about it. There's nothing that can hinder the Joshua Fury fight. So Frank, like Eddie said, famous words, it all stinks. It does. It stinks. You guys are liars. There's nothing that you can do to sway the normal thinking public. Tyson Fury ducked. Tyson Fury ducked AJ. There's just a timeline from all us boxing content creators, and thank God there was. So that's why do we blame Eddie for being naive? Eddie blames himself for being naive and trusting snakes. You can't trust snakes. That was a schoolboy error, you know. But they were all telling us the same story over and over. What Bob Arum was, and even there's footage of Frank Warren stating this, until they realised that Eddie was making the deal and they wanted it to backfire and possibly just create a load of damage, blame Joshua, blame Eddie, mess up the whole working relationship with the Saudis. And it's just nasty and envious jealousy at its finest. Jealousy to the highest degree. So we don't fall for it. We're not buying it, Eddie. We're not buying it, Frank Warren. We're not buying it, Bob. Your name, Bob. Bob Arum. But I should just call you two Bob Warren. You lot are all the same. You're all the same. Frauds. Anyway, guys, you couldn't write this in a book. Like, as it's been shown, Tyson Fury, I wanted to do an old video about Tyson Fury being so happy about it. Tyson Fury could have actually fought. You never saw Tyson Fury look happier a day in his life. Happier day in his life. Happy. Then you got the cheek and the gall to call people bums, dossers and shite houses. Get a grip. Look, we see right through. Like, all this gypsy bravado is null and void. I don't know, you're letting your people down, Tyson Fury. Like, we've seen it on multiple occasions now. We don't believe you. You're all bark and no bite. You're a yapping. I used to have a Jack Russell, and that's what you remind me of. A Jack Russell, dude. But even my Jack Russell Cleo would actually get down to the gusto. Like, she would yap and she would bite if she had to. You've got no bite. You've got no bite. A whole load of bark. Retire and go back to the WWE. This is where your amateur dramatics actually serve you on purpose over there. Anyway, I'm gone. These lot make me sick. How you going, this LadyChann rep nonetheless? Come box with Shan. Gone. Some WWF business, bro.